Hey and welcome back to my channel. I decided to do this acrylic design set as I recently received some new acrylics. So as I showed there, I've got NAILZY Opaque Pink Cover Powder, their medium set monomer, and I was lucky enough to win a pot of their Winter Berries premixed glitter. So I thought, let's do a set that features them. So here I'm coming in on the little finger with that Winter Berries, and oh my god, this colour is amazing. It's just beautiful. It was so easy to work with. I love pre-mixed glitters. They do make life that little bit easier, especially when their coverage is insane as this one. It was super easy to apply, so I used 2 beads and I was extremely happy with the coverage. When it comes to top coating, this is just beautiful. If you don't already have it, check them out. I will leave all the links to all the products I use in the description box below. So here I'm just coming in and capping that nail. The clear acrylic I'm using currently is Crystal Glass from CJP. As you may notice, I do use quite a few different brands of acrylic. I am only a home user at the moment, so I mainly do my own nails or practice tips, or as here, my FX4 hand. So I like to try a variety of different brands. And I just decided to apply a little bit more of that clear acrylic at the tip as it was looking a little thin. So then onto the ring finger, I'm doing a extended nail bed, as I will be doing a smile line. So I'm using the reverse method to do this and the Opaque Pink from NAILZY Glitters. And I'm just sort of placing that down. I wasn't sure what shape smile line to go with at first, so I was just playing around with it a little bit, and then decided to go with a bit more of a triangular one. So I'm just pushing and patting that into place using the belly and the tip of my brush. I'm not worried about getting it too perfect, as I will come in and file it crisp. I'm then coming in with my second bead of the Opaque Pink to start building up the nail bed area. And then I'm coming in with that cuticle bead, pushing it up, however avoiding touching the cuticle area, and then feathering it down over the previous beads of acrylic. At all times I'm trying to wipe to keep that smile line area as clean and as tidy as possible. And then because this is a core powder, I won't be capping this nail, so I'm just coming in with another bead to just build up a bit more of an apex. And then because I had played around with the tip area a lot in the beginning, I didn't feel like I was happy with the wall that I had made, so I just come in with 2 small beads of acrylic here, just so that's all nice and even for when it comes to filing it crisp and applying the coloured acrylic for the tip. So I'll leave that to set, and whilst that's setting I'll move on to the next nail. So this now I'm going to be doing some decals on, so I decided to do a thin layer of CJP Snow White. So I'm just applying this all over the nail, just so that it's the background really for those decals. And I'm trying to apply it nice and thin so that I don't add any bulk, because obviously I will be capping the decals in clear acrylic. You don't actually have to cap them in clear acrylic. You can build your nail up and then put them on and then top coat them. But when I'm doing them on real nails, I usually prefer to cap them in clear acrylic because I notice they seem to last better. However, this nail, I did have a few complications with it, as you will see later on in the video. So I'm just smoothing that out and neatening it up where I had touched the skin there slightly. Just doing lots of faffing here that was probably completely unnecessary. So then on to this finger, I decided to go in and do a marble. So here I've just come in with a small wet bead of Rose Garden from CJP at the cuticle area, just to get that nice and neat. And I'm then using this lilac colour that I mixed myself. So again, I'm just swirling this in just to sort of get that base down, and then come in with a bead of Snow White, the lilac and the Rose Garden. Bring my brush to a point and I'm just gently swirling them and creating that marble effect. And then I just continue doing that until the nail is completely covered. I try not to play around with the acrylic too much, otherwise the colours do just merge and run together and look a bit messy. So when doing this kind of marble, I like to work quite wet. I then decided to come in with some of the Winterberries acrylic. Just thought it tied in nicely with the marble. I do always like to usually add a little bit of glitter in whenever I do a marble. I just think it gives that something extra. And I did really like how this nail turned out in the end. I was super happy with it. So yeah, I'm just using small wet beads and just adding that in randomly. I then just left a short clip in of how I hold my file. It was super short. I had to cut it out as the video was getting so long. So then I come in with my coloured acrylic, which, as I said, is the same pink I used in the marble. So that's Rose Garden from CJP. And at first I was going to do this as a marble tip. So that's why I started applying it like that. However, I then changed my mind and decided to do a full pink tip. So as I cut out the filing of the smile line, I just wanted to say that I usually hold my file flat up against the acrylic without pressing down too much on your clear base, and just file it crisp. I usually just use a 150 grit file, and yeah, I'm still working on doing smile lines, so they're a bit of a work in progress. And then completely dust the nail off, and then as you see, I come in with my coloured acrylic. One of the things I am working on trying to remember is making sure to bring that coloured acrylic right down into the wings of those nails. Otherwise, when it comes to filing, you will find that you file the colour away. So I'm just building that up with some small beads. I will then leave that to set. So whilst that's setting, I'm coming in and capping this now in my crystal glass from CJP. So here I'm just using the 3 bead method, which I always use. I feel I always usually use 2 or 3 beads of acrylic. I find that that's what works best for me at the moment. Then coming in with that cuticle bead, making sure I point the finger downwards so it doesn't flood the cuticle area, and then just blending it out, making sure that I've got my apex in there. And then coming in with these unicorn decals from Charlie's Nail Art. I purchased these recently, but I hadn't got around to using them. So this is another decal that I can't remember where I purchased, but I thought it tied in with the colours of two of the ones I decided to use from Charlie's Nail Art. So I'm just placing that on the nail and then trimming the excess off. And then just cutting the decals that I've chosen to use out, and then putting them in water for around 15 seconds until they peel off the paper backing. So this was a flower, and then I decided to add a unicorn from the pack from Charlie's Nail Art that I showed you. However, I just couldn't get it to stick. I think maybe I left it in the water too long. I don't know. Then I did finally get it to stick, and then when it comes to capping in clear acrylic, it hadn't stuck, so it come off and I just gave up. But they are absolutely beautiful, and it did look really, really nice. I just didn't have much luck with it today. Thankfully it wasn't on a client. So I'm also going to come in with another one of those decals, which is I think it's a star. Lots of faffing. Okay, yes, it's a star. So I'm just coming in and placing that on the nail. This one went well and stuck down and had no problems. So yeah, I noticed there it just wasn't stuck on properly, and it would have moved when I applied my clear acrylic, so I just got rid of it. I liked how it looked in the end anyway. So here I'm just coming in and capping that nail. So basically there, I was just looking to see if the decals had lost any of their colour. I do know sometimes that when you do cap some decals in clear acrylic, they do seem to fade. However, so yeah, I was spending too long observing that. However, I don't feel that they lost too much of their colour, if any. so that was quite impressive. So then here I just left a short clip in of how I file my smile line through. So I'm just using, I think it's a 150 or 100 grit file. All my files that I use are from Femme Fatale Nails. I find them really nice quality. They last really well. I can't fault them. They're lovely to work with. So I'm just filing that smile line in, focusing on just filing that area at the moment. And then obviously I'll use my file to shape and contour the nail. So off camera I filed, buffed and cleaned the nails and then decided to add some crystals. So I'm coming in with Miss You Jewelry Gel and I'm just going to apply a thin layer of this to the nail. So just using a small brush, I just apply it like you would any gel really. I find it looks nicer if you apply an even layer all over the nail. There are a few different ways of using it. This was just how I decided to use it on the day. So I apply that thin layer and then I apply a top coat over the top of that before applying my gems. So I'm just coming in with a CJP tack free top gloss. And then I've got a selection of crystals in this little box. Some are from Charlie's Nail Art, some are from Nail Tech Supplies, some are from Crystal Parade. So I think that particular one there is from Charlie's Nail Art, the black ones. I just noticed there was a little tiny bit of fluff there. And then I'm not quite sure where the clear ones are from. I've had them a while, but most of my crystals I just find them from different places. It's like the acrylic. I think these little AB ones, I think they're also from Charlie's Nail Art. So I'm just applying them randomly, just sort of making up a little design as I go along, just to give that nail that little something extra. And then decided to add a couple more of the little tiny ones at the side. So I then come in with that same top coat and top coat all the nails, and then this is where the magic happens. Just look at that winter berries. I love it. So sparkly. So then I'm just top coating the rest of the nails. I'll then pop these in my LED lamp for 60 seconds. And then that's the end of the video really. Actually, one second. Once they come out of the LED lamp, I do allow them to cool for a minute, and then just like I would on a client or myself, whatever, I apply my cuticle oil. So I just left some clips of the nails for you to take a look at. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, then please do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.